If you're anything like me, you've been really busy for a really long time, and you see other people around you who are getting a lot done. They're really incredibly productive, and you're like, how do they do it? I figured it out. And I'm here to share those secrets, it's not really a secret, with you. So, over the past few years of owning my own business, I've realized that there is an incredible power to schedule blocking. And there's 5 main categories of time that will fill up your entire calendar. And you can do this with personal life and professional. I'm going to just focus on professional life for the purposes of this video. Your entire work week is going to be filled up, and it's going to freak you out because it looks like you have no free time, but you will have free time. We're going to factor that in. You're going to schedule for it. So let's dive in. The first bucket, and there's 5, is the long-term goal bucket. So this is 2 to 3 hours a week. Sometimes it can go up to 6 hours depending on where you are with your business or your organization. Sometimes you're in a maintenance phase, so it's just checking in for a couple hours on how you're getting to those long-term goals that are kind of far off, that don't require a lot of work right now. And sometimes you're working rather intensely to meet the goals of that launch, to get this grant out. So depending on where you are, you're going to prioritize that time for when you are most fresh, for when you know your brain is working at its peak. Depending on what day of the week and what time of the week, you're going to be putting in those blocks of time. Not an hour here and there, but 2 to 3 hour blocks of time. And you might have 2 of them through the week. Then the next category is the regular day-to-day stuff. So these are your regular work appointments. Meeting with your supervisor every week, meeting with your employee, your clients. For me, this is a lot of trainings. You're putting that all on the calendar as early as possible. Certainly at least a week in advance. So for me, I have a lot of individual appointments. If someone doesn't have a standing appointment, I'm going to create their next appointment before the call with them is even over. It's got to be on the calendar. At least 7 days in advance. From there, you're going to your planned day-to-day business. It's just the planned day-to-day stuff. So this is your lunch break. This is emails, returning voicemails, going through your snail mail. This is all the mails. This is paying the bills. All of those things that you could spend 75% of your day doing. Don't. We spend way too much time checking emails, going back, checking emails. It interrupts the other flow of the really important tasks you've got going throughout the rest of the day. So the planned day-to-day stuff for some of us, that's going to be 30 minutes. For others, depending on your field and on your position, it could be 3 hours. You've got to experiment with that and play around with your first estimation of time versus how much it's going to take. And you'll figure that out over the first few weeks. The next category, category number 4, is the unplanned day-to-day stuff that happens. There's going to be stuff that you don't see. I mean, I've been doing this forever, and there's still stuff that I don't see in my role. So we just plan it in, because if we don't plan it in, then it's going to be interrupting potentially something really important, like the long-term growth work of your business. We don't want things getting in the way of that. So the unplanned day-to-day block is going in generally at the end of the day. I know sometimes for me there's a tight crunch, so I have to plan it in the last 15 minutes of my hour lunch break. This kind of flies in the face of an open door policy. And I'll tell you why it works. It works because an open door policy is saying you can come in and interrupt me at any time. You can't. You have very important work to do where you need your full attention to develop. There are some things no one else can do. You've got to do them. You don't want that time being given away for something that could wait a few hours. The other side of it is that if I'm trying to respond to emails, do my long-term visioning, and somebody comes in with an appointment or an emergency, then I'm not giving them the full attention that they deserve as well. Whereas if they come to me between 4 and 5, they know that they're going to be getting my full attention, and I'm really going to be able to give them what they truly need. Problem solving is what it usually consists of. The last block of time is the unicorn block. So this is about 4-ish hours that you plan once a quarter. You do whatever is going to get your mind away from work. You are going to work on a physical exercise, you're going to get a massage, you're going to do something, perhaps this is a few rounds of golf. This is going to be something that's going to refresh and give you a break. The idea here is that you're going to come back to work for that second half of the day, and you're going to dive right into a long-term goal block. And you're going to have that maximum innovation, creativity, inspiration, motivation to capitalize on your downtime in order to propel the business, the team, the organization forward. There it is. There is the block scheduling system. You got to play around with it, you've got to experiment, and you got it. You can do that. Just dive right in. Don't get too caught up in exactly how long anything is going to take. You got this. Good luck.